Women Thrive TV. Welcome everyone. How are you doing? How's your day been? Have you been in alignment with your heart and soul? Have you been sitting in the sacredness of your heart, blending in with that beautiful divinity of your soul? Hi, I'm Gwenda. I'm your host for this evening, Soul and Beyond. It's a favourite part of my week to sit with you for Soul and Beyond. We never quite know just what is going to unfold. And I want to just move in here for a moment to say to you that this is how things work when you work with divine connection, archangels, and your soul. There is no box. We're energy, right? If you've joined me before, and welcome to the show, welcome back. You know that I'll talk about energy goes through walls. Everything around you is made of energy. So to say, well, we must have this, and this happening for this to go ahead, that is so very much in the physical mind. That is the construct of this very heavy, dampening matrix. Weren't they clever making that series of movies, The Matrix? Or were they? Were they wanting you to think outside the square? Were they wanting you to understand that there's something far greater than what you can see around you? I think they were. I think they knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted you to know that you are much bigger. You have access to something that is beyond your mind. So when I say we never know what's going to happen on Soul and Beyond, that's because I don't plug in essentially to this matrix. I plug into divine union. So tonight, sacredness of the heart and soul alignment, it's a beautiful place to be. And it's where you're going to find that you can embrace magic in your life. Now, we were getting underway last week and we had a huge power outage. So, God willing, and you know what? That's something else we could talk about, God willing, that we have a great stream and a great lot of fun tonight. And what I'd like to bring forward to you tonight too is some really beautiful healing for your heart. So calling upon Archangel H.E.A.L and also Archangel Uriel. They are the two divine beings that will work through me to talk to you tonight about the sacredness of your heart. And we're going to have a little look and see, how's your heart sitting? How is your alignment with your heart? Because, you know, if you live in constant inner turmoil, what could that look like? That could be anxiety, fretting, overwhelm, stress, depression. And there's all different variations of depression. And I can tell you I've experienced some of the ones that are not so pleasant. Not to say any depression is pleasant, but there are so many varying degrees of depression. There are varying degrees of everything in this world, right? So I'm familiar with situational depression, relationship interrelationship depression, postnatal depression. Oh, any ladies listening that are experienced that, you know what I mean by So these are the things that indicate this constant inner turmoil, that indicates we're not sitting in the sacredness of our heart. Now, did I know how to do that when I was a new mum and am pregnant again? No, of course I didn't. Did I know what the sacredness of the heart and being in soul alignment was when I was in my 20s? No, not essentially. But I can tell you that when I wanted to not be in this world anymore, there was a part of me that knew that was not the path. There was a part of me that knew how to lead me into something greater, into a space where I could find my footing again. So without knowing, I knew. How about you? Have you been any places like that where it just gets beyond ridiculous? It gets beyond feeling like you can cope anymore, and you wonder, oh, is it all worth it? Have you been there and felt like you've not known what you're going to do, and yet something comes along and changes it? Someone lifts you out of that place. Well, that is the sacredness of your heart. That is the wisdom that you hold within you. And when we get out of our way, that's when things really get exciting and we can move through anything, truly. When we live in fear or anxiety, this really robs us of being able to even be close to being in alignment with our soul. We can't hear its messages. We can't hear the guidance from the archangels and from our own guides, even from our ancestors. Yeah, our ancestors are always around and their wisdom sits in our DNA unless you do some ancestral clearing. So when we sit in a place of fear and anxiety, that is always stimulated by a part of the thinking brain. And if you dwell in that place, then the thinking brain will find more and more and more and more stuff to pile on top of you so that you are held down very heavy in that energy. The wisdom, the sacredness of your heart is pure joy and pure love. Now, love conquers everything. But when you are listening to what goes on in this thinking mind, the whispers, the beautiful nudges from your heart, from your soul, can't actually reach you. Have any of you got a noisy mind? Have any of you got one of those relentless minds that just doesn't be quiet? And how loud is it? Well, you see, it's boss when it's like that. And it's able to counter everything that your heart and your soul tries to bring forward for you. When we're in relationships that are not fulfilling, that are not passionate, that are not bringing forward the aspects of you that are full of fun, playfulness, harmony, joy, radiance, excitement, then it's time to walk away. But how easy is that? Like I said, when I was in my early 20s, 23 in fact, 22 it started, experienced postnatal depression and situational depression. I knew I had to make change. I knew I had to walk away, but I had two little bubbers. What was I going to do? But again, that part of me, that incredibly powerful part of me was like, no, we will find a way. This is not the life I want for my babies and for myself. So being in relationships that take you out of the sacredness of your heart, that bring you away from a place of fun, playfulness, harmony, joy, radiance, then you're you're way, way away from the sacredness of your heart and the guiding light of your soul. And one thing I want to say to you tonight is there is always a way. There is always a way. Truly, it doesn't matter what you are experiencing. There is a way beyond it. Now, I mentioned Archangel Chamuel to some people, Archangel Uriel, and they are going to come through and offer their energy, offer their guidance for you tonight, because we have a surprise. Oh, you might not like it, but we have a surprise. If you remember, if you joined me a few weeks ago, we went through looking into you and seeing what's going on. Well, these two archangels want to be able to come in and help you to lift your hearts, help you to find what is sitting in your hearts. Now, I'm already seeing some things going on in a couple of you in the chambers of your heart. You have 4 chambers. I nearly did that. You have 4 chambers in your heart. So when I say that I can already see in a couple of you some things sitting in the chambers of your heart, the lower chambers. That means that it's something that has weighed tremendously heavy on your heart, and it's sitting in there, which means that it's creating a constriction in the pump action of your heart. You see, whatever we're holding in the body creates a constriction or an inflammation in the organs. And in this case, because we're talking about the sacredness of the heart, then in this case tonight, it's about the heart. And Archangel Chamuel is just beautiful. They are all beautiful, but this particular archangel is just, I want to say divine. And you'll say, well, of course, Gwenda, divine. There is no real word big enough to be able to express what it's like to feel the presence of an archangel. And I can promise you that if you learn how to, because you can learn how to sit in the sacredness of your heart and invite these archangels in through the willingness of God, because you must know how to connect properly so that you are well protected and safe in doing this. If that's something that really interests you, come on over and join us in the Spiritual School of H.E.A.L, Wisdom, Enlightenment, Self-Healing. And you can learn how to connect in the way that sits in the sacredness of your heart and your soul to be in divine union. One of the other ways that you can know that you are not in alignment, not sitting in the sacredness of your heart, is chronic physical ailments. You know, chronic fatigue, chronic anxiety, chronic inflammation. Leaky gut is actually a chronic condition, because we don't just get a leaky gut overnight and it's gone in a couple of days. It goes on and on and on until you sort it out. That's right, you sort it out, not anybody else. But then again, you might need guidance. You might need someone to show the way for you. And if that's the case, I invite you to look at the Gwenda method. Now, I will also say here that if you went to get the Gwenda method a few weeks ago, I'm very sorry that the link was incorrect. It has been corrected and it's available for you now. So you can find the Gwenda method. We'll put the link up for you in the comments, and also the link for you to join the Spiritual School of Wisdom, Enlightenment and Self-Healing. Another sign that things aren't in alignment for you and in that sacred space is feeling stuck or lost. Have you ever experienced that? A lot of people experience feeling lost in a relationship. How can you feel lost in a relationship? Haven't you got, a great love going on here? Well, no, not necessarily. You can feel very lost. Some men do this, but mostly it's women that forgo themselves in a relationship and they start to mimic. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen a friend mimicking their partner? You go, you didn't used to do that. And then you spend more time and see the partner and you see those idiosyncrasies, characteristics, and you look at your friend and think, why are you laughing the same? Or why do you have that annoying little going on? You never had that before. That's where you get lost in a relationship because you've lost yourself. You've lost the integral parts, the unique parts of yourself. Another way that you can know you're lost in a relationship is you don't do the things that you love to do. You do everything that your partner loves to do. And you call that love. And I'm going to call you out on that. It's not love. It's codependency. It's far from being in your sacredness of your own heart and the guidance of your soul. So if you're ever feeling lost or stuck, you're in the right place tonight. The energy of Archangel H.E.A.L and Uriel will reach you as you sit with me this evening. It will wrap around your heart. It will lift your heart, and any burdens that you wish to be lifted will be lifted. Now, the key in what I said there is what you wish to be lifted. The next part is that you are ready for them to be lifted. You see, there's a difference between wishing, hoping, and actually letting it go. So with Archangel H.E.A.L and Uriel, they will lift any burden and bring healing to those of you who have got things sitting in those lower chambers of your heart, which I'm going to look into in just a moment. If you're game, they will lift that and completely release your heart if you are ready. And this is a thing I find about guidance and healing. I have been a channel since I was 25. Wow, that's like 41 years. That's giving things away, isn't it? And over the years, people's expectations and demands have changed. So being a channel now can actually be very taxing and make it not the joy that it once was. And why is that? Because they don't want to listen to the guidance. They don't want to let go of what it is that's hampering their life. They say they are, they say they do. But when it comes down to it and it comes down to the guidance, they don't want to follow that through. So for every one of you who watches live and those who come in on the replay, really ask yourself, am I ready for this? Am I really ready to be free of whatever it is? Now, sometimes you don't want to label it. Sometimes you don't want to acknowledge it, but you know that there's something not right. So if you don't want to label it or look at it, you can still say, yes, I'm ready. And it will be done. I know of miracles. You can have a miracle tonight if you wanted to. It's up to you. These two beautiful archangels are waiting, so it's totally up to you. I want to say here too that if you are wanting healing or guidance for someone else, you can request it. The result will depend entirely on the other person. If they are ready, if they are willing, and if they are accepting. So please, if you pray for healing or something better to come along into someone's life that you love, continue doing that and do it with all your love, all your joy, with no expectation, no attachment, accepting that whilst your love, your joy, your prayer is received, the outcome is entirely up to the other person. And because of free will, there is nothing you can do about that. However, when you send love to another person, it is always received. And when you send or ask for healing, you can send healing energy. Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to work with energy? It's super powerful stuff, just like me reaching through to you tonight or on the replay. Wherever you are in the world, I can reach you. Energy does not know bricks and mortar. Energy does not know petrol for a fuel tank. Energy travels, and it travels through intention. So anytime that you want to send healing, love, joy, harmony to someone, and you do it from the fullest of your heart, believe me, it is received. Always, always. The last point, the seventh point I want to raise with you before I come and have a look at you all, is overwhelm and exhaustion. My gosh, overwhelm is a really powerful, is it an emotion? It's a feeling. And we can get ourselves into a place of overwhelm very, very easily. So one little tip I want to give you tonight about overwhelm is recognize it. Recognize that you are sitting in a place of overwhelm, and then make a list of everything that seems to be piling up on you. And it could end up being like a dinner plate, that's at a smorgasbord and you want everything on it. Write your list and not leave out anything. So don't start siphoning the list, going, oh, that one doesn't really matter. I can see to that later. The fact is, if you're in overwhelm, you're not seeing to any of it. So if you write a list and then choose one, just choose one thing and take a step forward to cross it off. In other words, take a step forward to sort it out. Now, if you come to one thing and it really makes you and takes your breath away, then you need to move away from the list, go outside and ground yourself, clear your energy. Do you know how to clear your energy? Do you know how to ground? Do you know how to center yourself between heaven and earth? If you would like the tools to do that, then I really encourage you to go across to the Gwenda method, and we have the link in the comments, or come join us in the School of H.E.A.L, and you'll learn how to do these things. Your life will change exponentially. So you come away from that. You ask your mind, send your mind on a task. Find me the answers. Find me what I need for this issue. And then leave it. Then come back to your list and begin to work through it again. And choose one thing at a time. You'll be amazed how quickly your list dissipates. And you'll be amazed how you feel. Now, exhaustion. Oh boy. So many people are experiencing exhaustion in current time. How do we get ourselves in a place of exhaustion? Very simple. We're not in alignment. We are not in alignment with our mind, with our heart, and definitely not with our soul. If you are experiencing exhaustion, clean out your mind, clean out your gut. Yes, that's right, your gut. Clean out your gut, clean out all your systems, clean out your sock drawer, clean out your filing cabinet, get rid of the clutter. Get on with some of those round to it, as we say in Australia. I'll get round to it. A job around the house you've been looking at for ages, get onto it. These things will take you out of exhaustion. And funnily enough, go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, no later. Don't watch television. Do not watch television. Be on screens after 7 p.m. Truly, it makes a huge difference. Come away from stimulating your mind unless it is stimulation of divine union. There's a difference. Sit out in nature before you go to bed. Cleanse your energy field. Clear your mind. And you will find that you sleep better and you have more energy in the morning. Now, I would like to come across and say, hello, everyone. Look at that. Hello, Michelle. Not like you to be late. Must speak up. No, I've been here since the beginning. That's odd, Michelle. Hi, Lisa. Oh, this is last week. I have power. What's going on here? Hi, Liz McDonald, Lorraine Watson. Good evening, Maria. It's very strange. Can you ladies tell me if you are actually with me this evening? Yes, that was last week. How come those comments are up there? Susan Westland, good evening to you again and welcome back. Yes, I'm extremely well. Lisa Tare, hello. Liz McDonald, that's a me. Oh, is that right, Liz? Well, we'll be having a look-see. Oh, thank you, Liz. Meant to hear that my hubby has a battlefield with alcohol. It's alcoholic. Yeah, got it. Thank you, Lisa. Cool, Amanda. So let's have a little look into some of you and see what's, oh, great, Maria. What's sitting in your heart? Who is it that the archangels were showing me that there is heaviness sitting in the chamber, the lower chambers of your heart? Let me just go into that special space where I can see into you and see what's happening. Just give me a moment to breathe into that. Kim Jane, good evening. Hey, Lorraine Watson. Let me just sink into this space and connect with these two beautiful archangels to bring them through and see what we see and what they have for you. Liz McDonald. Left lower chamber of your heart. The energy actually seeps across to the right lower chamber. There is also some stenosis in the aorta Liz, you've carried this heavy burden 30 years. It began 30 years ago. Losing your way in relationships, not just one, three. 3 relationships, Liz McDonald, through that 30 years. It began 30 years ago, but has continued to weigh in your heart. Liz, I really encourage you, and through the healing energy of Archangel H.E.A.L, who offers to you the most beautiful violet flame to place in your heart. As you close your eyes tonight, Liz, encourage you to see a violet flame and place it in your heart. Imagine it glowing there and releasing, if you are ready, all the burden that sits in the lower chambers of your heart and also into your aorta. Susan, in the lower chamber, right side of your heart, is like looking at a web. Archangel Uriel says that the right lower chamber of your heart is like that of a stained glass window that has been broken, where you have pieced it back together. And so the web that our channel notices is the way that you have tried to piece this back together, having the colors of the stained glass window, and it is not melded in its entirety. This is heartbreak for you, Susan, and it is something that continues for you through your daily life, and it sits only in the right ventricle of your heart. You also need to breathe deeper into your heart. There is a fear that sits over your heart, a fear that also contracts your ability to breathe deeply, like you feel you cannot get the expansion, you cannot get the freedom to expand in your life, as if you have been shut down and held down this way, and this is what is confining in your heart. The healing is offered to you tonight to be miraculous, to release your heart. It is completely in your hands. You have only but to say, release me, and we will. Thank you, Liz McDonald. Beyond exhaustion, yes, your poor heart, and 30 years, Liz says yes. Thank you, Liz. So let us take you into a beautiful space of meditative light. So for each and every one of you here live with me now and with Archangel H.E.A.L and Uriel, if you would like to be imbibed, embodied and surrounded by this magnificent light of these 2 archangels, place your feet on the floor. Perfect if you can have no shoes on in this instance. For the energy that's going to come through you is going to come through the crown of your head and go straight down through your feet. If you cannot take your shoes off, that is fine. Do not stress. If you can, be without your shoes, place your feet down, closing your eyes and letting them look down towards your heart. I'm going to circle around you, and for everyone who comes to watch the replay, allow yourself to sink into this energy, this powerful energy of bringing you into a place of freedom in your heart, sitting in the deep awareness, the sacredness of your heart. Closing your eyes and breathing and taking your breath up through the nose and following it down to your heart. Imagine it dispersing all around your heart, and as it disperses, it takes away fractals of light that carry burden, heaviness, exhaustion. Beautiful, beautiful pink violet light laced in gold comes down through your crown, down through the center of your chest, and it expands out in your chest around you and comes out of the body and circles around you in a beautiful spiral around and around your chest, around and around your chest. We bring it down through the column of your spine and down into the earth where it is dissipated as it meets with pure crystal clear waters that dissipate everything that is heavy, everything that is burdening and weighs in your heart. You're breathing deeply. Now I'm breathing right down into the seat of your heart as we bring through again a spiraling, beautiful flow of light. It is golden, it is pink, and in the center is emerald green, powerful emerald green, and we circle this down and spiral it down through the top of your head, down through the center to the chest, and it sits around your heart. And here, as you breathe, it expands and contracts, expands and contracts. The magnificent spiral of divine light, blessed in God's vibration, delivered by Archangel H.E.A.L and Uriel, releasing you of all burden that you are prepared to release and let go of. As you breathe deeply now, feel into your feet as they sink into the earth, deep down into the most magnificent crystal clear water. The water is cooling. The cooling takes away the heat from the heart. For those of you who are carrying challenges, sorrow, heaviness, worry, overwhelm, exhaustion, the cooling effect of this spring water removes the heat from the heart. We travel this beautiful spring water, crystal clear, up through your feet, right up to the chest and back down into the earth, bringing with it cooling sensation, magnificent cooling to the heart, where it can release and be free. Bring your awareness now back to the sense of the body. Expand your fingers, stretch your fingers out, reach them out away in front of you. And if you wish to make the pledge, I release and I welcome freedom, healing to my heart. And place your hands over your heart, right hand first, left hand on top. Say it in your mind's eye. I release it. I welcome healing, freedom to my heart. Breathe deeply. Feel into your feet. Move your feet around. Let yourself come back completely into your physical body. Yawn, cough, move. You may have an expulsion of energy. Lift your shoulders, push them down, expand your spine. And softly, when you're ready, open your eyes. And let me know when you're back and how you're feeling. Welcome back, everyone. I'm just seeing some of your comments before we started that beautiful cleanse for the heart. Rosemary, Giordano, hello. So good to see you here tonight. And oh my God, I just cleaned out my old desk at my mum's after 30 years. Good work, Rosemary. Susan Westland, always do they hear and always do they answer. Liz McDonald, oh my gosh, she says, with a heap of exclamation marks. That's beautiful, Liz, especially for you, darling. Amanda, that was beautiful. Thank you, sweet. Susan has tingles all over her body. Lorraine, I feel lighter. Thank you. And with the love, you're very welcome, Lorraine. Liz McDonald, amazing. And Susan cried when asking for help. Yes, my love, when the heart is burdened, definitely. Is everyone else back? It's a pleasure, Susan. It's a pleasure to have you here. It's a pleasure always to be of service. And for everyone who watches the replay, we would love your comments. And if you tag me or you tag the show, then I'll be able to come back and comment back to you, to speak with you also. So please do let us know, those who come on replay. Everyone who comes in live, well, we can see you right here, right now, which is fantastic. How was it for you, Lisa? Karen McAllister, hello. Cool. Well, did you jump into that, Karen? Great to have you here. So I know that some people struggle to visualize or imagine, and that's okay. Just go with the energy. Don't let your mind override you by saying, oh, I can't see anything. I can't see any color. That is your mind playing tricks on you and trying to harness you and keep you away from the sacredness of your heart and the guidance of your soul. If you look at your mind and think, you work for me, I don't work for you, I'm going to send you on a task, and you start to master your mind by telling it what you want it to find for you, it will, it must. It will and it must. And believe me, when you start to use your mind that way, oh my gosh, your world will change incredibly. And that's where you start to see miracles. So, everyone, we've come to the end of this week's show. My greatest thanks and love to you all. Yes, I shall be here again next week, as I hope that you will be too. And I'll look forward to what excitement the angels bring forward. So, oh, that's okay, Lisa. That's great. Yes, come back and do it again. Thank you, Michelle. So I'll look forward to seeing you all next week. And remember, Women Thrive TV, Soul and Beyond on Tuesday evenings, 5:30 p.m. West Australian time. Thank you, Rosemary. You also take care. Everyone, look after yourselves, and I'll see you again soon.